Hi, Ryan Hansen here, President with Bon Voyage Travel, and we're excited with our partner coming on today to talk more in depth about one of our favorite partnerships in all of travel, and that is Tauck Tours. Tauck is an incredible company that we've partnered with for many, many years, but they've been at it for a much longer time frame. But my great friend and leader of the global sales and customer experience for the Tauck brand is Steve Spivak. Steve, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Thank you, Ryan. Always good to spend time with you. And we are so appreciative of our partnership with Bon Voyage Travel for many years now. You serving on our partner advisory board has helped to guide us towards this conversation we're having today and some great new and exciting things at Tauck.
Let's start high level for those people that may not be familiar with Tauck. I doubt there's people that have never heard of it, but maybe they don't know the intimate details that I think are pertinent at this point. Family owned business doing this for a century. Why does that matter, Steve? What's the big deal?
Well, this is a very special year for us. We're nearing the end of our 100th year, our 100th anniversary, and still family owned to this day by the Tauck family. And in this day and age, when so many travel brands are owned by private equity or publicly held companies, oftentimes it's the financial aspects of the travel industry that dominate the experience instead of the experience being the most important thing. Because of the family involvement, because of the heritage and the values, we have a saying at Tauck, if you take care of the guest and do what's right, at the end of the year there'll be a pile of beans. You know, we don't have to lead with the focus on the pile of beans. We have to lead with what is our guest experiencing, and is it the very best that they have dreamt of that we're delivering for them? It's the most important thing in what we do. And we know that if we do that well, we'll be successful.
Without going into all that has changed over the last 100 years of travel, because let's be frank, we would be here for hours on end to talk about that. Can you just maybe detail a little bit of how Tauck has evolved as a company to meet the needs of the travelers in 2025 and now moving into 26 and beyond?
Absolutely. Well, 100 years ago, we were taking six people on the back roads of New England in a Studebaker. And while we still do offer tours of New England, so much of the offering of Tauck happens in Europe, on European river cruises, on our small group land tours. We now offer travel on 7 continents with a small ship cruise to Antarctica and small ship cruises around the Mediterranean. We offer family travel through our Bridges multi-generational program. And we now offer different choices of group size on our Classic Land program. So you can be a part of one of our classic groups that might be 36 travelers, or you can be with a much more intimate group of travelers in a group that's as small as 14. So offering choice, offering truly global travel opportunities, different styles of travel for people at different life stages, traveling for different reasons, whether it's family experience, traveling with loved ones. We just this week introduced for the first time women only departures. 3 itineraries for 2026 where we'll be women only traveling together for that unique experience. So innovating in style of travel, innovating in the places that we go, innovating in group size. We're constantly striving to deliver experience to our guests in the way that's important to them. And I think that idea of being able to personalize a travel experience while you're moving as a group, that's sort of the secret sauce of Tauck, is how do you make me feel special as an individual, even though we're going from place to place as part of a group? And really, we achieve that with the incredible Tauck directors that guide every single one of our journeys. And they are oftentimes what people remember the most is not just where they went and what they experienced and what they saw, it's who took them there. And the Tauck directors are the key to the enjoyment of what we do.
Excellent description of kind of your value statement of what Tauck's all about. And I love the innovation. I've seen it personally. We'll talk more about that as we continue our conversation. But I think now, if I were a consumer, and we talk to consumers all the time at our travel agency, and if they're going to ask me, well, why would I choose Tauck? You've outlined some really good reasons, but let's distill it down a little bit more. What truly separates and sets you apart from somebody who's saying, well, I can do it by myself, or I'm going to go with this other group offering or tour operating, or maybe it's just another cruise. Give me what truly separates Tauck.
Sure, I'll give it to you in the best way that I know how to distill it, which is these four key pillars, right? Four key pillars. And Ryan, you said if you were a consumer, you are a consumer, and you have traveled with Tauck multiple times, so you know
Mhm.
this firsthand. It comes down to these four key pillars. And I think one of the things that's so important about Tauck and Tauck guests is they're part of a community. Once you travel with Tauck, it's a way of traveling. It's not just a travel company. And so no matter where in the world you travel with us, it always feels the same. And that's because of these key pillars. First, it's never settle for ordinary. And the difference with Tauck is in every destination we travel, we deliver exceptional experiences. We deliver experiences that no matter how much money you have, you couldn't experience them on your own. Whether it's after hours at the Sistine Chapel when it's closed to the public and you're there for an hour and a half with, a group of 16 people or 30 people, you are there in a place that people wait in line for hours and hours to go to, and they're there for 15 minutes, and that's their experience. With Tauck, it's a very different experience. It's beyond ordinary. We have another key pillar, and that's travel in good company. Every Tauck journey is guided by an employee of Tauck, by an expert guide who lives and breathes to deliver these travel experiences to our guests. They're not contractors. They're not local guides who are hired for the day and you never see them again. It's a person who sort of lives and breathes the values of Tauck that's with that group of travelers from start to finish. And they get to know these people intimately. They get to understand why they're there. Maybe they're celebrating a special milestone. They recognize that with little gestures or gifts. They take care of people, but they're experts in the destination and they're connected to the destination. They're not just there for this one tour and they will never be there again. And being expertly guided is a huge difference maker for Tauck compared to some other companies that do sort of contract someone for the day and then they're gone. It's a big difference in who's delivering the experience. The third of the key pillars is leave your worries at home. Tauck takes care of all the details so that you can be present in the moment. The worst thing for experiencing the joy of travel is all those little things that create anxiety while you're traveling. How is my luggage going to get from here to there? Who do I have to tip? When are we going to have our next meal? Where are we going to have our next meal? How much do I have to pay for the optional excursions? And that's especially present on most river cruise lines. They say they're all inclusive, but then there's a lot of optional stuff that you need to buy. The drinks
And
aren't
most of
included.
the optional excursions are really the ones that are the best,
That's right. And of
typically.
course, that's what Tauck includes, the best of everything for one upfront price. So you don't have to be taken out of the moment to think, oh, I paid a lot for this trip. Do I need to spend a little more? So leave your worries at home, knowing that everything's included and it's the best of everything. And Tauck takes care of getting you from point A to point B in style. Tauck takes care of all the gratuities. Tauck takes care of all the meals and your choice of restaurants, and everything is included that you might possibly want. And then the fourth of the key pillars is get what you pay for and then some. It's very easy to print everything in our wonderful itinerary pages in our beautiful brochures, but what really makes people feel special are the little thoughtful surprises along the way. And built into every Tauck journey are what we call lagniappes. A lagniappe is a Cajun term for a little something extra. And it came from the idea that if somebody got good grades or did extra chores, you would show them love and appreciation by giving them a little something extra, a little extra serving of dessert, the last piece of bread at dinner. And we've built those little something extras into every single one of our journeys because it's those moments of surprise and delight that make people feel so special. We've also empowered those Tauck directors to deliver those little surprises in an individual way to our guests on the journey. And the way we do that is we give every single Tauck director a pot of gold. We give them what we call the Enliven Fund. It's money to use at their discretion to enhance the journey for our guests in a way that surprises and delights. And it might be something like a cone of gelato at their favorite gelateria in Italy on a hot day in the summer. And it might be a special experience somewhere. But getting more than you paid for is where people feel such emotional connection to our brand and they feel so taken care of. So those four key pillars are the Tauck difference through and through.
Steve, that's an incredible recap of what Tauck is all about. And you're right. I am a consumer. My family was just on a Tauck tour this past summer. And each one of those pillars, Steve, just brings up so many memories from the summer tour. I won't go into each and every one of them, but one of the expertly led things that just popped right into my mind was when we were on the bus going into Florence. Our tour director did not say, here's where the garment district is, go buy your stuff there. Our guide said, I've been doing this for 26 years for Tauck. I've been guiding tours in Italy, and I know if you want a leather jacket, here's where you go. It's not the garment district. It's around the corner behind this church. Go through this little garage door. It's not going to feel right. Like there's no sign. No one's going to know that that's where it is. But I promise you, there's an incredible leather goods store. That's where you need to go to buy your leather jacket. And we did that for our boys, their first leather jackets, bought in Florence at this off the beaten path place I would have never found on my own. It's not on any tourist map anywhere. It's because our tour director knew. And so the expertly led conceptual ideas, that to me separates, because most of your competitors, it's here's the garment district, here's where you go for great food, you'll have your pick of a great restaurant. It's those things that you will never find. Even on a Google search, I don't think we would have found this incredible store for the fine leather goods in Italy. Well, you've touched on so much good stuff here. What is the feedback you receive at headquarters, Steve? That positive line from a first-time guest. What's the aha after they travel that they're like, wow, I never understood it and now I get it?
Yeah, the aha is Tauck took care of everything. But usually it comes with a side dish, and that side dish is I didn't think I was a group person.
Mm.
Right? I didn't think I was a group person, but with Tauck, I never felt like I was part of a group. And where that really comes into focus is in the places that people think they can do on their own, where they think it'll be a better experience if they do it as an FIT, or in the places where you have a lot of choices, like river cruising, for example. Right? People always say, I thought I could go to Italy on my own, or I thought I could go to the national parks of the US on my own, but I saw things with Tauck that I could have never seen on my own. The Tauck director made me feel so special by the extra attention, by the recommendations, by through their connections, that I felt so cared for, and I saw things I could never see on my own. And I can't come back, and I can't wait to do it again. And on river cruising, it's the wow. I took a chance going with Tauck because I wasn't really familiar with Tauck. I was more familiar with the other river cruise line that does a lot of advertising on TV, and Tauck may have looked more expensive, but I never had to think, should I have that extra glass of Veuve? You know, oh, what are we going to do today? And do I need to buy an optional excursion? When I sit down to dinner, nobody told me who I had to sit with. I got to sit down with and dine with who I wanted to dine with. It was so elegant and so luxurious, and every detail was perfect. So that's the thing we hear so much is I didn't even imagine it could be this good. And oftentimes people go into it saying, well, that's pretty expensive. No one ever comes back from a Tauck journey saying I paid too much. And that is by and large, I think the biggest thing that Tauck is known for is great value. It's not the price, it's what you get for the money. And so value is the Tauck difference through and through.
Again, Tauch celebrating 100 years of taking people around the world. And again, it didn't start around the world, as you mentioned. A Studebaker shuttling a small number of people in and around New England, and it's been expanded. It's been expanded by destination, by mode of travel with small ships and river cruising, different group departures, but you've tied in some really focused departures that are now more demographic related. And I'll start just by, we won't dive into this one because it's been in existence for 20 years, the Tauck Bridges program. You innovated on the idea that multi-generational family travel was important. And all of the touches that Tauck delivers on should be available to a family that wants to travel with their children and grandchildren. It shouldn't be exclusive just to grandpa and grandma. That's not the Tauck way. You've expanded once again, and a brand new product that is going to be outlaid and delivered into 2026 is called Roam. You're setting up a whole new way of traveling for a different traveler that maybe you haven't catered to. Describe the Roam product and what that's all about.
Sure. And this is really our first foray into travel for a distinctly new generation of travelers. And look, it's no secret that our core product broadly appeals to an active, affluent retiree. Um, People who tend to be more in the phase of life where they're thinking of how am I going to spend my golden years to reward myself for all the hard work that I did while I was still working, right? Well, people who are still working and more in that phase of life where they might have kids at home, they might have just become empty nesters or have kids at college. They're still working, but they want to travel well when they have the opportunity to travel. Um, those people now are looking for exactly what Tauck offers, but in a new and exciting way. So we created Roam for people in their 40s and 50s who want to travel well. They want all those things that Tauck is known for, the exclusive access, the incredible guide, the wonderful hotels, the great value, but they want to do it in a way that's less programmed. We refer to it as half on and half off. So Roam was created for that active Gen X traveler who's still in that life stage where they're likely working, but when they have the time to travel, they want to travel well, and they want it to be perfect. And so we created Rome with that guest in mind.
As we dive more into this Rome concept, it sounds like it's really more about a travel mindset, but it really still is catered to people that are in the same life stages that they can, and that's part of your community conversation. So when I've looked at the itineraries and the pace and the activities on the Rome offerings, I do see, like you said, more free time. I do see different levels of activities that might be a little bit more active in nature for a traveler that is more interested or willing to do, a little bit higher level of activity. Can you walk us through kind of a day in the life of a Rome journey? What does that feel like?
Sure. Well, so Ryan, I feel like I'm talking about us, right? Like
Thank you.
we are the target audience for Rome. And a typical day when we're on vacation is exactly what Rome's for. We may want to sleep in one day, right? We don't get a chance to sleep in very often. And when we're on vacation, maybe we want a little bit later start to the morning. So later mornings in a hotel that has the resort amenities, the spa amenities, is really unique to the destination that we're in. Uh, you wake up, sort of leisurely start to the day, then maybe you have a choice of activities for the day. Maybe in San Miguel de Allende, you have a choice of visiting the artists' enclaves, and seeing the local artisans at work. Or if you're feeling a little bit more adventurous, it's an ATV tour, right? So choice is a very important element of Rome. And then in the afternoon, we're going to go to the market. We're going to go on a market walk with a chef, and we're going to select ingredients from the market. And then we're going to do a Mexican cooking class. And then we're all going to eat together. And then maybe in the afternoon, it's more time at the resort to hit the spa or the pool or to play golf. And then in the evening, we're going to do a dine around at a selection of restaurants that I can dine where I want, with who I want. But then maybe in the evening, we're all going to meet back up on a rooftop bar to have a cocktail making class together, right? So that might be a typical day on a Rome experience. Now, there might be another day where we're all going from Mexico City to San Miguel de Allende, but on the way, we're going to do a hot air balloon ride over the Aztec temple
As
ruins,
one does, right?
as
As
one
one does.
does, right? So on that day, we're all going to do the same thing together. But it's a mixture of time on your own to sort of for self-discovery, because that's still important to us. Part of the joy I get from travel is discovering the destination for myself. But I also want those exclusive experiences. I want that insider access that I couldn't get by myself. So it's a mixture of that insider access with self-discovery, that expert guide there to make sure I am exactly where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. And I'm enjoying it with a very small group of like-minded travelers who are sharing in a very similar life stage to what I'm experiencing. So if you go back to 1925, Ryan, in that first newspaper ad in the Newark Evening News, Arthur Tauck said, "We shall be one congenial party, along for a great time. I want no grouches or pessimists." And here we are with Rome, right? All these years later, and what we're creating is a congenial party out for a good time, um, with a little bit more time for self-discovery, time to relax, time to recharge, so that when we go back to the everyday, when we go back to work, when we go back to the kids, we feel restored, right? We feel restored. And I think the Tauck difference in Rome is will be apparent in the very same ways that it's apparent in everything else we do. You'll leave your worries at home. You'll get what you pay for and then some. You'll be traveling in good company and you will not settle for ordinary.
Yeah, you've absolutely nailed it. When I was thinking this through, it's like you go to an incredibly great bar and the bartender has created a brand new cocktail. The expectation is high, the standards are excellence, and you created a new cocktail that has just the right parts of flexibility, guided discovery, planned out excursions, surprise and delight opportunities. And it just might be a little different mix than some of your other products, but the standard is still the same. The inclusions are still the same. I don't have to worry about my bags. I don't have to worry about my meals. You still have those inclusions. But what I love about Rome too is you maybe give me a few more opportunities to go discover a food and beverage opportunity on my own. And like you said, that freedom of discovery is part of our generational view of life. We want the plan when we want the plan, and I want it for efficiency's sake, but don't plan my day so much that I don't have that aha moment that I can discover myself. So I think Rome fits in beautifully to your collection of offerings. Steve, let's kind of wrap up our conversation. And this is a silly question, but a real question. Why is now such a great time to book a trip with Tauck?
Well, there's no guarantee of tomorrow. I can't think of a better reason than there is no guarantee of tomorrow, right? And those things that we wait to do, right? We can't guarantee that we're going to be as healthy tomorrow as we are today. We can't guarantee the economy is going to be as strong. We can't guarantee the world is going to be in the place it is. We're very fortunate this year. Look, there were some things certainly around the world that were crises and tragic, but by and large, it was a pretty quiet year around the world without a lot of travel disruptions. And you never know how long that's going to last. So now is always the best time to travel because there is no guarantee of what tomorrow holds. And you deserve it. You deserve it. If you're in the position that you're considering Tauck, I promise you deserve it and you won't regret it. And look, I just want to say, Ryan, you and the Bon Voyage team do an incredible job guiding your clients to whatever is the right fit for their stage of life, for their goals, and for what it is they hope to feel when they travel. And you offer nothing but the best across everyone you partner with. But we certainly hope when Tauck is the right fit, or Rome by Tauck is the right fit, that you find your way to one of our journeys. Again, I promise you won't regret it.
Thank you, Steve. And the feeling is mutual about what you guys deliver. And that's important to us because our credibility is on the line every trip that we plan. And we take that seriously. We look at people's vacations not as an expense, it's an investment. It's an investment of time. It's obviously an investment of resources that in most cases have been the bounty of hard work. And so we take that seriously here. So from a partnership standpoint, we want to help guide them to a partner like you that we have confidence in that's going to deliver beyond the ordinary, more than what they paid for. And we don't want someone to ever come back from a vacation and say, I paid too much. We want them to come back and say, can I go again? And that leads me to a real brief story, Steve. When we were on Tauck Bridges a number of years ago, the Bridges program, again, for those listeners that aren't familiar with it, it is a multi-generational designed platform for families to take their kids around the world to experience the world through the eyes of an 8-year-old through an 18-year-old. The entire platform, everything that Tauck creates is designed for the 8 to 18-year-old. And we went to the Louvre for the first time with my 8-year-old and my 11-year-old. And it was, let me tell you, You can spend weeks in the Louvre and not see everything. We spent 3 hours in the Louvre. 3 hours is all you say. Well, here's what happened in those 3 hours. The
Two
tour
boys.
direct, two boys, two rambunctious, energetic boys, 3 hours in the Louvre. Our tour director led us on a scavenger hunt through the Louvre to all of the hot spots. And at the end of the trip, we are walking out of the Louvre, and my 8-year-old said a phrase that has never been uttered by another 8-year-old in the history of man. When can we go back to the Louvre? That was the phrase. No one's ever said that at 8 years old, let alone 80, because most people, the Louvre is a lot to undertake. My point is, Tauck not only leaves you wanting more, they deliver so much you absolutely crave it. You have an appetite for more because of how you deliver on it. That to me kind of encapsulates the Tauck difference. If you were to say to me, what's different? My son saying, when can we go back to the Louvre at 8 years old? Because you delivered the product perfectly for that demographic. And by the way, we cut the line at the Louvre. We had tickets all in advance. Like that helped me have the anxiety level dropped. But Steve Spivak is the VP of Global Sales and Customer Experience for Tauck. What excites you most about the next iteration of what Tauck is all about?
The fact that we get to keep doing this, that there's new people that we get to share this incredible experience with. I mean, Ryan, you know as well as I do, there is no greater gift than being in the industry we're in. Um, Everyone comes to us to find joy, and and we have an obligation and an opportunity to share that with them. And I'm excited to share joy with people who are sharing the experience I'm having right now, kids, work, and we know that when it's time to travel, we need it. We worked hard for it, and to know that we now have an opportunity to give people the chance to connect with each other, to connect with the destinations, to feel restored and rejuvenated and alive. I feel like it's an honor and a privilege and a calling to do this for people, and that's what excites me. Is that what we do is bring people joy, and now through Rome we have an opportunity to do that for an entirely new generation of people for many years to come.
Well, that is definitely the tie that binds, I think, all of the Tauck staff from your headquarters office in Connecticut to your tour directors around the world. That same sense of obligation and duty to deliver that, but almost more so the desire you want to share that with each other, and we have that same tie. So I appreciate that. Steve, I will end with this comment, and it's absolutely the truth. There is no partner in the industry that we get higher customer feedback responses than with you. And that's a testament to from the start to finish of everything that Tauck stands for. Our customers come back more satisfied with their trip with you than anybody else. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Thank you. That is just an honor to hear that and to know that we're doing our part and to know that we're carrying on such an important and rich legacy. Again, it's a family business, and there's a lot on the line when it's a family business, and we want to make sure we continue to get it right every time to protect that legacy.
Well, thanks, Steve. And for those listeners out there, if we have not convinced you to book a Tauck vacation through Bon Voyage Travel by now, you're probably not traveling anywhere in the near future or distant future. But if you are interested, our Bon Voyage Travel advisors know Tauck like none other, and they are ready to do exactly what Steve illustrated, connect you with the right experience to deliver an incredible vacation experience. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Have a very happy holiday.
All right, brother, that'll do it.
Well done. Well done,
All
gentlemen.
right.
Thank you.
Dude, you're so good. You're so
Wow.
good.
Bravo.
You know your stuff, man. I love it. You covered stuff. And there was questions I didn't even need to ask because you were like, well, the Rome products designed for. It was beautiful. It was very free and easy, brother.
I mean, I honestly, I could sit here with you all day and just, it's so
Just
funny.
ramble,
So
just
funny.
ramble.
Well,
Good
thank you
stuff,
guys.
man. I love it. Catherine will be hard at work over the coming weeks to get this out there, and obviously the goal is to sell some Tauck vacations, of course. But I'm very pleased. I can already tell you. I think what we're going to deliver represents the product exceptionally well.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Catherine, can you hang tight or hang back for a second before?
I'm going to bounce. Steve,
Thank you. Thanks,
happy
Ryan. Thank you,
holidays,
Steve.
Ryan,
brother.
Great seeing
Thank
happy
you.
you.
holidays,
Happy
my man.
holidays.
I'll see you
Bye,
soon.
y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Happy
See ya.
holidays.
Do you need me, Garrett? I'm happy to hop off too.
Oh, well, no, all good. I just want to follow up on the timeline on this and just kind of talk a little bit more about the
Yeah,
co-op. So,
actually,
Jen, you're good. But I guess, Jen, real quick before you go, and Catherine, if you also need to jump off to another meeting, let me know. But do
I
you?
just want to talk to you about training before she
Okay,
jumped off.
perfect, perfect. Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
training, and then I think we captured it as part of that recording, but one of the biggest things I'm trying to talk to my agencies about with Rome is it's also a really amazing opportunity to capture those first time travelers to Tauk. I mean, that's something that we always are chasing, but it's also could be an incredible opportunity to bring first time travelers into Bon Voyage because this is a demographic that has not historically been larger producers within the industry. So as you're looking and reviewing this content, if there is an opportunity and they were both ready to go, but that we can help to have Bon Voyage connect with these people and then connect to Rome, you're adding these people in your ecosystem for their lifetime. So there's an amazing opportunity here as you're kind of working through that content. So that was just an anecdote I wanted to share. But training and Jen, I'm sure you concur with that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I love incorporating in my training too, Catherine, for like getting that FIT client into guided travel as well. This is just such a new, it's like a stepping stone, I think, for the consumers into the world of guided travel. So yeah, I'm excited.
No, I love that. And I think that is our idea, our hope anyway, in where we're going to chunk these segments up and where they get placed, depending on what audience would be the best fit for it. So yeah, no, I agree wholeheartedly. I think that's great. And to that, which is why I wanted to talk to you about training. I know Garrett had thrown this out, and I think it's a great idea that so our advisors have a training on, first of all, we have a lot of new advisors that could just get a Tauck training in general, but Rome specifically, just because it's new to everyone. I don't know what your calendar looks like. I know that here we are coming up with the holidays. It's kind of busy for everyone. So I'm kind of thinking more like January, and that first week of January is actually kind of tough. So I'm thinking the second week of January. I don't know if that's too far off for you or if
If
that
it's the
might
week of
work.
the if it's the week of the 12th, I know Jen, that's gonna be tough for her because we have an academy that week
Okay.
for Rome
Yeah.
specifically. Sorry, Jen, I don't want to
Hmm.
speak for you,
No,
but
that's okay.
um,
I can do the 12th, but I also wanted to ask you, Garrett, do you foresee us doing this together since they do need, or Catherine, I guess, do you guys think they need like Tauk,
well, I'd
flagship,
probably say
everything? And then,
separate. I mean, I'm happy to attend yours, Jen, but I was looking at the new Rome sales deck and I just kind of gave it
Mhm.
combined yesterday, and it is so much amazing content that
Yeah,
is standalone in its own.
okay.
And so Kat, and if it's okay to call you Kat, I notice Ryan always does that. So
Yeah.
if if we want to do flagship first, Jen's schedule's a little bit tougher with the academies we have going on. So if we can slot her in and then do a flagship bridges, river
Yeah.
separately, I think that would
Yeah.
apparently make more
That
sense.
works. Yeah,
Uh,
that works. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so I can do, let's see, the 12th of January or the 19th. I also have availability on the 9th and then the week of the 26th. So 9, 12, 19, and then week of the 26th.
9th, 12th, 19th, 26th. What about December 30th? And I'm gonna bring these dates back to Wendy and Ryan as well, but just throwing it out to see what your availability looks like.
Yeah, I'm available on the 30th if you guys, I'm just hesitant with that being in between the holidays if you guys will have folks participate in it, but if that works for you guys, I am available.
Okay. The only reason I say that is because we are doing Garrett the Tauck. Thank you so much for that show offer that we want to, couple it with this campaign, this podcast. But before we start that, a training before that would be awesome. So pushing it all the way to the 19th or the 26th of January, I don't think we want to wait that long to launch it. But I have all these dates in mind, so I will get back to you right away and see what works best for the team over here, and
Okay.
we'll go from there. Just
Was the week of the 5th off limits for you guys or that's on? I could do that week as
it's
well.
any day that week,
What time do you guys normally do them?
either 9 or 10 a.m. Arizona time.
Which is the same as Denver right now, right? Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we're all over the place, but I think yes, right now I think we're an hour ahead of Pacific.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I could do the 5th, 6th, or 7th as well. Those might be ideal.
We can't do the 6th, and that's the only reason why this week might get tricky, but um let me just look and see. We already have a training on the 6th, and we like to just try and keep it to one training
Yeah,
a week. But because this is a
totally.
virtual training, maybe we can bend the rules a little bit. So let's just see what we can do.
I think
Yeah,
that,
sounds
yeah,
good.
I'd really petition for that, and I can uh, uh, absolutely be present for that, and then
Okay.
for the
Oh,
more comprehensive training, I can do some things, at a later point. I want to make sure that we have everyone up to speed on Rome, as we launch, because that was the follow question is, I want to wait as long as possible to get that 30-day clock started. So, once we kind of have a feel for that I want to then launch with and start that time.
so I also have the power to offer the special
Hmm.
with my webinar too. I don't know if that
Ooh,
interferes with what you guys are doing or complements it. I'll leave that up to you guys. But as far as timing and everything goes, I also have some power with that.
we'll keep that in
Yeah,
mind. No, that's really good to know.
yeah.
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 There's a little bit of workaround there. Actually, it's really really apt because Jen, if you did yours, the 7th, let's say, um, and then I could do mine later in January for your new hires. Not that not that we want to wait, but then that would start a separate 30-day clock because it would be a separate webinar, and that would kind of help, yeah,
Extend it.
Okay.
Yeah.
extend it
Yeah.
in a creative
I
way,
love it. And then we have our February 22nd show.
right?
I mean, I feel like this is going to be a year-long promotion for us. So thank you.
We just want to get you covered all of wave season.
Right, right.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
officially we can't do that. There's been people who may not be with the company anymore who are doing that. So, but unofficially,
Garrett, I will turn off the recording and then you can tell me
perfect.
for real. Oh gosh. Okay. All right. Well, let me throw these dates back out to the team and I'll let you guys know ASAP what works best and we'll go from there so we can get it on our calendars.
Okay, perfect.
Great.
And
Sounds
then,
good.
yeah, thank you, Jen. Thank you so much for
Do you
being
need
here.
me?
No,
You
you're
chat
good.
money. Okay.
So Kat, on the rest of
Bye,
the
Jen.
the
Bye.
marketing plan, my team was asking uh, what's the latest and where we can, because they want to take a look. Because I want to part of it, if I can get it out of my team's budget, then it doesn't hit mine. Um,
Yeah.
do you have any updates on that front?
Um, Let me chat with Wendy. I know that she has started them, probably has completed them, but things are just so crazy over here. So I'll follow up with her. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be awesome. Just so if I get it in sooner than later, I hopefully get my piece of that pie, and then I have
Absolutely.
more dollars elsewhere, when we do, if we do other things. And then TBD, Talc, we will have a presence at your show. I've had to ask a couple different people and we're working through some schedules. So just more to come.
Okay.
But we'll be there. But with that being so close to baby, not me, and we're gonna
Right.
find the right person. So
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. Well, and even if, I don't know if Jen would be available, but she's very familiar with the show.
yeah.
So anyway, that's just throwing that out there. But yeah, anybody would be fantastic because we definitely want to have a talc presence there. So that's great.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. At this point, I think it's going to be a gen because we have so many. So
Oh,
I'll let you know. Absolutely, let you know.
okay. All right. That sounds
Thank
great.
you, and good luck with all the
Thanks,
editing.
Gary.
That was awesome. Really, really happy with how this turned out.
I know they've made it easy for me, so the editing should be a piece of cake. Famous
Perfect.
last words, right?
Exactly, exactly. All right,
All
happy
right.
holidays.
Thank you, Garrett. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Bye.